Can you explain how the stronghold of rejection has its root in abandonment, rejection, in all types of abuse, and how can a person break free from all these strongholds? And can you give us an example of what is the spirit of rejection and what are the symptoms associated with, and how can a person walk in their healing and freedom?
I can try. In 10 minutes,
I know it's quite a lot,
try
but
to address
I
that in
want to
10
try to
minutes.
get all the meat and potatoes that we need.
Yeah, or we could just do a part two, but I'll do as
Yes,
much
we
as
can
I
do
can.
that. Yes, that'll be
I'll do as
great.
much as I can in 10 minutes. Now, the second book that I wrote is called The Spirit of Rejection, Heal Its Wounds and Move On to Promotion. The Spirit of Rejection, Heal Its Wounds, Restore Your Self-Esteem and Move On to Promotion. So one of the first times we see rejection is in Genesis chapter 4, in the account of Cain and Abel. This is one of the first times we see rejection. Because Cain, the scripture says, brings an offering to God over the process of time, and Abel brings his first and his fattest. He brings the first of his flock and the fattest of his flock, which means he prioritizes God. He brings the first, and then he brings the fattest. He gives God the best. So Abel gives God the first and the best. Cain takes his time in the process of time, brings some of his harvest, his crop. Cain is a farmer, Abel is a sheep herder. So God accepts Abel's offering of the first and the best. And he does what? He rejects Cain's offering of the leftovers. The process of time. And what happens to Cain? If you study Genesis 4, what happens to Cain is Cain, because God rejects his offering but favors and accepts Abel's, it says his countenance becomes dejected. And as a result of that, he is angry. So God says to Cain, what's wrong with you? If you do well, will you also not be accepted? So this is one of the first instances of rejection that we see. But the problem is Cain became angered because he thought God was rejecting him. But what God was rejecting was not him. It was his offering. It was his offering. And a lot of times we feel rejected because we cannot separate those two things.